Today I'd like to talk about social learning theory. Social learning theory is basically the concept that humans can learn by observing others who are credible and knowledgeable. And if the model they're observing is rewarded for their behavior, the observer is likely to adapt the behavior themselves. There are two methods by which one can learn using social learning. The direct approach, as in what Bob Ross is doing here, the actual painting. He's learned how to paint, now he's actually applying it and enjoying the benefits. Or observing, simply watching him on television and realizing that he is a qualified painter and that there's value in it, and then you would want to duplicate that too. It's of course applicable to job skills, observing others who receive certain training and get advancement, etc. An important concept in social learning is self-efficacy, or the belief that one has the skills, the ability to learn new skills and achieve. Like the little engine that could use, it gives a person ambition and motivation to keep going even through adversity. There are four methods one can use to boost self-efficacy. Verbal persuasion by simply saying, "Go, you can do it. You great job. Keep going." That sort of thing. Logical verification, which basically is saying that because you did X and Y, you're more likely that you can do Z. For instance, Michael Jordan, you can stick your tongue out, you can slam dunk. I don't see any reason why you can't stick your tongue out while slam dunking, as a silly example. They can also have modeling as a method to boost self-efficacy. So by observing someone else who's trained and can actually do the job, they might think that because they can do it, I can do it as well. Another method is for managers and others just to focus on past accomplishments of the employee being trained so that the employee can reflect on what they have done in the past and realize that they can succeed again in the future and do the training without issue. I plan on using this in the performance assessment test for the position we're using, a home health aide position. I can see how it would be useful in many skills that can be observed and learned. For instance, how to safely move a patient, how to accurately measure dosages, and just demonstrating compassion firsthand from models and others, so that or videos, so that one can learn how to use soft skills mostly by in-person modeling. And the process of social learning theory has four steps. Essentially, the first step is attention. So, in order for a learner to observe, there has to be a good model that the learner believes is skilled and qualified. The learner must be focused and know what to look for while observing the training, and have the sensory abilities to actually see the training and observe it and not be too tired or falling asleep or ill, things like that as well. The next step is retention. So after they've seen it, they have to be able to somehow retain the information and code it in their minds, organize the idea, and have some sort of mental rehearsal so that they can play it back in their head and essentially keep the memory alive and be able to perform it once they have the opportunity. The third step is the actual motor reproduction. So the ability to to actually be able to physically capable of doing it. For instance, slam dunking may be difficult if the person is on crutches, or if the person is ill or just unable to do this. Then they also must do it accurately. So of course the first few iterations are not going to be as accurate, but one can get feedback and adapt their skills and their method so that they can improve and eventually get to the point that the model originally represented. And then finally is the motivational process, or the reward process, so that if the learner actually does the action and gets rewarded, they're more prone to repeat the action. Similarly, if it was a negative action and they had negative consequences, they're less likely to want to repeat that, especially if they saw a model get negative sanctions for performing the action. So that's essentially how it works, those four steps.